Time now for another COVID-19 benefits information segment with Fox 10 News investigative reporter Brendan Kirby. Brendan's back with us for an update on federal relief programs. And Brendan, I think it's safe to say no one can hold their breath for another round of stimulus payments. Republicans and Democrats in Congress just can't seem to get together on that. But they did come together to offer more relief for small business owners. Update us on that one.
Well, Byron, this comes in the form of the Paycheck Protection Program Flexibility Act. President Donald Trump signed that into law last week. The PPP was one of the very first programs that Congress created in the wake of the pandemic. It provided loans to small businesses that could become grants if those businesses meet certain conditions. But some businesses complained that those conditions were too stringent. The Treasury Department today said that it would issue guidance and rules on this new law soon. Here are the major provisions. Businesses can qualify to make a loan a grant if they use 60% of the money on payroll. That's down from 75% that was in the original bill. Businesses will get some leniency in a requirement that they maintain the same level of employment as before the outbreak. Companies will be able to have fewer employees than before if restrictions limit business operations. For example, a restaurant that is operating with reduced capacity because of the rules that were put in place. Businesses will also get a break on payroll requirements if they're unable to rehire workers who are laid off or similarly qualified workers. And then also finally, businesses will have 5 years to repay loans approved after June 4th. That's a longer period of time.
Yeah, it is. Now, speaking of the stimulus, most people have finally got their money, but some still haven't. So I guess it's safe to assume if you haven't, it could be that you're just not eligible, right?
Correct, Byron. The most common reason that you might not be eligible is if somebody has claimed you as a dependent on their taxes. A lot of times a taxpayer might claim an elderly or a disabled relative as a dependent to get a tax break, and the person who's being claimed might not even realize it. That could be why we're hearing from so many Social Security recipients and people on disability programs who say they haven't gotten their money yet. Other common reasons why you might not have qualified include you make too much. Individuals with adjusted gross incomes greater than $99,000 and married couples who are earning more than $198,000 don't qualify. Another reason is you don't have a Social Security number that's valid for employment. You've got to have one of those to be able to get the stimulus. Or you might be a non-resident immigrant. This includes certain people who are on temporary work visas and don't have green cards. Or you're in prison. The Internal Revenue Service clarified this some time ago and said that prisoners can't get the money. However, if you are in prison now and you get out later this year or next year, you should be able to claim the money when you file your 2020 tax return. Also, the IRS says estates and trusts, they're not eligible for the payment, and that people should return the money if it comes to someone who has passed away.
Brendan Kirby, thanks as always for the good information. Brendan will be back with us on Fox 10 News at 5 to talk about unemployment. But if you have a question, you can email Brendan directly at brendan.kirby@fox10tv.com. He's going to try and answer every question that he can get to.